Bonjour, and welcome to another edition of the Blue Green Ocean Road with your host, it is R.R. Stenberg. With him, Captain Morgan on the SS Poop Deck, poop already cleared, ready for inspection.
Hey, Judge.
Uh, Pretty good, thank you. Anyway, what's happening?
Oh, I finished. I finished People of Darkness.
Finished what?
People of Darkness. I finished it.
People of Darkness?
People of
Oh,
Darkness. It was. Yeah, they jumble the characters around. There's a bunch of these books, so. But the difference between the TV show and this was that the deputy, the girl, the sergeant. Remember the sergeant that was with Chief
yeah,
and helped, with the chasing of the bad guys and shit because she's a cop. In this, it's a school teacher. She's just kind of tagging a white school teacher. But I think maybe she might be. There's a third season. It ain't out yet, but maybe because they got rid of her in the second season. I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch it?
no, I haven't.
Oh,
It's weird because I think this is like maybe the second time they tried to make a series out of the book series,
hmm.
and they've made like one or two movies based on the books, but I haven't seen this current series.
It's a TV. It's a TV. 2 seasons, and there's a third one already. But it hasn't made it to Netflix yet. Um, it's doing all right.
Oh, good. Uh, Finally catching hold. I think Robert Redford. I think he brought one of the. I think he made one of the movies and maybe the first series that they made out of it. I think
I think Sundance
I could
France
be
bought that because of Hillerman, maybe. Reading about it. It's
maybe.
that lava. That lava flow's pretty wild. Um, it's weird because I've been there. I've been on it. You've been on it too, huh? You went down 40. All the lava rocks you could ever want.
Yeah, been quite a bit through the big res too, in all the towns and the ruins and
Oh yeah.
Anasazi ruins and stuff they've talked about. Yeah,
Do you go to the old burnt out Hogan's and all that?
sure. I've
Oh,
seen them. I've seen old ones. I've seen new ones in operation. People living in them. I've seen the sheep ranches, the horse ranches. I've seen Monument Valley. I've seen Chinley. I've seen uh, Canyon de Chelly, all those places. Very nice places. Very magical, beautiful places. I got accosted by a canyon on the rim of Canyon de Chelly. A group of Navajo teenagers wanted to pick a fight with me because they thought I was exploiting. But the way they went about it, you said I've been working with teenagers for years and years, and the way they went about it, it was so funny because you know how intimidating East Coast and city teenagers can be with their voice and mannerisms. There was nothing like that. You know, they're very soft spoken, saying things like, I think we're going to kick your ass and stuff
yeah.
like that.
It could
And it's
almost be.
very strange, you know, and so you're just kind of like looking at them and say, no, you're not, you know,
Yeah.
and we're going to, you know, we're going to have ourselves a nice conversation and we're going to, you know, we're going to be cool, you know, and so they were very easily swayed by that, you know, and I was very weird because you know I was used to other kinds of teenagers who wouldn't be so easily swayed, and it's very interesting. But
Cool.
instead, I
Navajos?
think they when I drove away, one of them threw a rock at my van.
Ah,
That
good.
was that's right. So they figured, all right, that's good enough, you
Now you
know.
go home, my head up.
Yeah, and what was it at Page, Arizona, at near Bryce Canyon? Uh, this old Navajo guy was swearing at me. He was screaming at me, why don't you go home? Why don't you get away from here? Like this. Why don't you just, because he knew I was bringing tourists in the area. We don't like your kind here and all this other stuff. And I said, I'm really sorry you feel that way. And another Navajo came up. Well, I'm sorry about that guy. Kind of calmed him down and stuff like that. Hit me up with some money, and that was that. You know.
Mikey! Mikey is not. There's Mikey.
Yes, there he is. How you doing, Mike?
Good. How you doing?
Dig the hat.
Free from Scotland.
Oh, that was yes. Wow. So it's genuine.
Wow.
Yeah, it's made in the Hebrides.
Smells like
Very
whiskey
nice.
and tobacco.
With imported wool
Yeah,
from
it's-
Ohio.
Yeah, I checked that because one time she went to South Africa and brought me back a hat made in China.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that happens everywhere.
Had the
Yeah,
South
that's-
African logo, South Africa. But I looked underneath and it was made in China.
Yeah, well, that's all
Yeah.
right. There'll be no more of that.
We're talking about the Southwest. Have you been to the Southwest, Mike?
Yeah, I've been once. Loved it though.
Where'd you
Loved
go?
it there. I was a kid. I was just 20 or so though. It was my last big hoo-ha before going to Unity. I took a drive out to the Southwest.
So your last big female genitalia before
Nah, there wasn't much of that out there. I went out there with remember Russ Hudson? Do you know Russ Hudson?
no.
No? He lived in Gloucester. He was going out to California to work and he wanted to know if anybody wanted to come with him. And I said, sure. So he had this old car, big old car, and it was a beater. Somebody had spray painted the word beg on the side where there was a dent. Beg. That was the expression back then. Remember that? Do you remember that
Yeah.
expression?
Begging.
Yep.
Beg. Oh,
Yeah.
beg.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
huge bag. Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
egg.
it was a beg.
Don't forget the egg.
And so anyway, we drove all the way to Phoenix, and where we stayed with Craig Peter Penderson, Craig, another guy from the area who was going to college out there. Uh, Frank Anderson was no, Chris Anderson was out there. There were several people out there. So anyway, we stayed for about a month, and I flew back. He went on to California, but I loved it out there. Loved it. I didn't do the time you guys did out there though. I was out there for about 3 or 4 weeks.
I was out there years.
I know you guys.
I was there years.
I know you guys. You guys spent a lot of time out there.
I haven't spent years out there, but I did go out there several times over the years. Visited
Used to
this
it.
and that. Visited this and that. Drove to this and that. Been on some Indian reservations and did this and that. Had a friend who was teaching out at the Zuni Indian Reservation, so visited him. He took us all around Acoma Pueblo, El Moro, Canyon de Chelly, places like that.
Nice.
Uh,
That's pretty
and
awesome.
I did trips out there. And
I'd like to go out there again.
yeah, that's still there. But it's yeah, I'd like to go out there too again. It's very nice, very intriguing, very interesting.
Yeah, it's a different world. All different fauna and flora, and different sky, different
I think-
everything.
I think we went to the oldest continuously occupied human village in the country. It's called the Acoma Pueblo, and people have continuously lived there for, well, since I guess it was started maybe thousands of years
No
ago.
kidding.
And
Wow.
we got up there during the governor's feast, and they had this huge like kachina procession, in costume and stuff, and then behind the procession were all these women with like they had like laundry baskets. I guess once upon a time they were traditional baskets, but now they're like plastic laundry baskets. They're full of food. And so it was a fair crowd of us there witnessing all this. Then they start throwing the food into the crowd. I guess that's part of the governor's feast, give the food giveaway. And so like cans of food like flying in the air. You had to catch them and snatch them out of the air
All right.
or get hit by them and stuff. So it's kind of fun. And then I felt someone nudging me from behind. There was this old woman with this tray, and it was a tray full of like freshly made tamales. And I turned around and she offered me one. That was probably the best tamale I think I'd ever
Not
had.
bad.
It
Perfect
was
setting
delicious.
for that too. Yeah.
And it was fun. Yeah, good things like that. A beautiful location. It was like this mesa in the middle of this enormous valley, and you could see like little ranches and farms all around the mesa. I went to the church. They had this Catholic church in the middle of the Spanish, when they came, they built this church right in the middle of the mesa, and this woman was speaking sort of broken English, as traditional like Hopi language. I think it was Hopi or Acoma. The same. There may be a distinction there. And she was telling us how they forced the men of the tribe to carry these timbers from this mountain that was like 20 some odd miles to the north that had trees, to carry these timbers down to make the church. And the timbers weren't allowed to touch the ground, so they had to have like maybe 40 guys on each timber trying to carry them down from the mountains. There's a certain amount of cruelty in that, I'm sure, how they got them down there and stuff like that.
All in the name of God.
Gad.
Yeah, that's it.
This makes Gad happy. Now he's
This
happy.
timber touches this timber touches the ground, you're going to hell.
That's it.
Great.
No mercy. That's the
No
Old
mercy.
Testament God. The New Testament God mellowed out because he had the kid. But the Old Testament one,
Right.
oh, yeah, it would have been, he'd have
Well,
gnawed on your ass.
The Old Testament God, and maybe the new one, is they consider the demiurge, that not really God in the sense that the New Testament think of as God, but more of like a cruel demiurge that wants to control people and manipulate the scenes,
Yeah.
to manipulate humankind.
Well, yeah. Don't eat fish. Or eat fish. What's the thing? Don't eat pork.
Well,
That's probably because
that can't.
pork.
I mean, there's 100 different things with that. First, there are all kinds of hygiene in the desert kind of rules where you don't eat pork or shellfish in the desert because there's no way to keep it from becoming poison,
Yeah.
in the heat,
Yeah.
and other things like that. Then there's like fishing guilds in Europe and stuff like that need to be supported. And so when the
Yeah.
Eastern and Western Catholic Church, the Roman Empire, they needed to support the fishing trades at least once a week and make everyone eat fish. And
Friday. That's where you finally get paid, on Friday.
So you eat the fish.
It's just a coincidence that all the guys around Jesus were fishermen.
I've seen those iconic photos, though. There's a church in the Southwest, this little white church in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Yes. I've been to the church.
Made of rocks.
There's a church. I forgot what town. It's in New Mexico. We went to it.
Made of cactus.
Made of cactus.
Made of cactus.
They had this. The nuns tell a story of they needed a staircase in the church, like to go from the lower level to the upper level. And so this itinerant carpenter came by, and he built this, beautiful spiral staircase in wood all the way up, but it's like an unsupported spiral staircase. Mike Kennedy would know much more about this, and he may have even seen it. I'm not sure.
No, it's a miracle.
You can see pictures. Yeah, it's considered a
It's a
miracle. But the
miracle.
thing is, you go there, they won't let anybody walk on it because it's
No,
obviously a very fragile
don't
piece
touch
of
the miracle.
beautiful wooden sculpture, you know. But they consider it a miracle,
Oh
well,
yeah.
at least a small miracle and stuff. Uh,
Who are you to say?
but But it's beautiful. You go to places like Santa Fe and stuff, and go to the markets and see all the handicrafts. Some of the trading posts in Zuni are really remarkable. They have all local, featuring all these local artisans and the sculptures in not only in clay pots and stone, but also beautiful jewelry and whatnot, and Kachina dolls everywhere. It's really beautiful. You want to take back all that stuff, be another victim of that Southwest lifestyle, bring it back to
Yeah,
East.
more crap for the house.
But it is, and it has a unique, they burn juniper and pinyon pine. So you go through especially in the winter time, you go through these pueblos and stuff, and the smell is so enticing. It just has this beautiful incense-like smell to it,
Yeah.
wandering the streets and whatnot. Yeah, it's a real magical place. Everyone should experience that.
Yeah, I fell in love with it. I thought it was beautiful. Utah. I got off the bus in Utah and it had that. I don't. The best I can describe it. Remember the mountains in Rocky and Bullwinkle? Remember how they used to go
You're
up like
talking
that?
about, yeah, you're
You know what
talking
I'm talking
about
about?
Monument Valley, right? Are you talking about Monument Valley?
George, I don't know. I was asking. It's like 4 in the morning. The sun's coming up. I got off the bus because we have to. They woke us all up. Get off the bus. We got to fucking vacuum it, right? And I get outside and I'm looking. I go, whoa. I go, where the fuck are we? Because I'm thinking I'm neither coming back or I'm staying, you know? And nobody said, we're in Utah. I said, well, where? I said, I don't know. Fucking Utah. All right.
Well,
Well, anyway, Utah's the shit.
yeah, well, Utah's beautiful. It has beautiful natural, well, it's beautiful natural beauty, mesas and
Mm.
rock formation. They have these beautiful, magnificent, enormous stone arches that thousands, maybe millions of years of blowing dust have created, and just gorgeous. Well, Bryce Canyon, where all the hoodoos are, is in Zion Canyon and Bryce Canyon. Bryce Canyon have these beautiful wind-blown rock formations.
Mm.
It's like a forest of them you can wander around through. Just
Yeah.
absolutely
And get
beautiful.
lost and die.
Arches National Park. Yeah,
Yeah, don't
Utah's.
uh don't don't mind the cougars and the
They're usually
snakes.
on the bus. They're the reason why you have to stop the bus and back it up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A
No, but
haglock.
it's yeah. I mean, yeah. There's all that. There's coyotes. There's snakes. There's scorpions. All kinds of kooky
There's
stuff.
the
Gila
hagwa.
monsters.
The hagwa.
Yeah.
The hagwa. Are you saying jaguar? Yes, hagwa. No,
Wow.
run. That was a hagwa.
And reservation dogs. You don't want to mess with them either.
Yeah, I
The
like that.
dogs of the reservation.
There was no
No.
place to stop and hang out. So
No place to stop. Well, yeah. There's some good. I don't know. Go to the towns and there's places to hang around. There's parking places. There's campgrounds.
oh,
There's
there's
this
that.
and
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I was looking
Uh,
to like plant a flag and stay. You know what I mean? So I guess Albuquerque. I go there, but
oh yeah. That's where Breaking Bad takes place, isn't it? Albuquerque.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
But 40, where I broke down, that's in this Tony Hillerman thing. It's like that desert's famous for killing people. I mean, there's stories all the time of people just like hoofing it. Like, okay, my car broke down, I'm gonna start walking, and they don't get far. I mean, they get as far as, and then it's over. They walk until they're dead. It's kind of like famous for it. That was in a TV show. I go, oh, that's the desert I broke
walking
down
till
in.
you're dead.
That's a big part of it, right? The long walkers. Oh my God. Oh look,
The
that would
first
have been me. And there's a guy dead in the desert because it didn't work out for him, right? That's in the show. I went, oh, that would have been me if I hadn't got my car to stop.
That
the
could have
first
been
time
me.
I
I could have. I could have been a contender.
I could have been a corpse.
I could have been a
I could have been a
survivor.
contender.
Yeah,
I could have been a survivor, safely back in my bed in Rhode Island.
yeah. Where nothing happens bad on the road except other people.
When I was first time I seen, I think it was '79. I drove out from Oklahoma City and we drove all night and got to New Mexico by dawn. I was like dawn was rising over the desert. I'd never seen the desert before, and I
Oh yeah,
had
huh?
to stop and watch the sun come up. I just
Right.
wandered out to a mesa, and I'm looking down at the mesa at the car along US 40, sitting there at the side of the road, and Billy, Carl, and Carl Bergstrom were still sleeping in the car, and I'm just sat up there, and the wonder of it all, just absolutely a wondrous moment
Yeah.
that I'll never forget.
It's when you fall in love with the desert.
Uh,
This, morning. I want to see this every
What is it?
day.
What is it? What does it mean when you got a lantern over your head? Does that mean you have an old idea?
It could. It can stop being that. Oh, we'll make an emoji.
I just noticed I got a lantern over my head.
oh,
We don't
I
see
just
it.
noticed that you had a lamp, an old lantern over your head.
We're just human. I don't see anything.
You don't see it?
No,
There's a lantern with it.
it looks like
Yeah.
there's like a fuzzy puff of smoke.
If you hadn't have pointed it out, I may not have noticed it either.
Look, check it out, Mikey. I got like a wheel. A barometer's gonna come out of my head. That's actually a
What does that
trick.
mean?
Like
What,
I listen
what
to a
does
lot of
what does that
commentary
mean?
tracks,
You
and filmmakers will do that. They'll position shit like that, not say anything, right?
yeah,
But like you see it while you're watching a movie, but it's one of those things.
yeah.
There's this one where there's a guy in his head, right? It turns out it was just a guy in his head. Was that your underwear?
Yes. Speaking of made in China,
Yeah.
Well, that's over, George. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
Check your MAGA hat, George. See where that's made.
oh yeah, my MAGA hat. I
Yeah.
got that around here somewhere, next to my MAGA underwear.
It's red. You can't miss it.
Oh, it's orange. Orange with stripes. Or street
Oh,
box. What was I talking about?
Forget.
I know. I just so cruelly cut you
Oh,
off.
you're watching TV and they place things.
Oh, yeah. There's this one where it's there's a well, you're seeing a guy, right, and it's not a real guy, but in the movie, he's here, right, and then he moves aside like that, and the guy comes out like that was just the angle, so the guy comes like out of his head. There's another one where it's the guy's like at a wheel of a car, and then when he sits back like that, you see the other guy. He's still up front. Like there's a guy in the passenger seat. You know what I mean? At first you don't see anybody, and then he just slowly moves back. The other actor is just sitting there, and he appears. And it's like two instances I can think of, but it's like a movie trick. So that lantern over your head would have, if you wanted it to mean anything, they would just throw it in there, and it'd be you don't notice you're seeing it. But yeah, you could do
Right.
that. You could I don't know, light it up,
Subliminally,
get an idea.
subliminally, I'm the guy with old ideas.
Yeah,
You
well,
put a
there it
lantern
is.
over my head.
The guy with old ideas. I think I got a title already. Cause that's
Yeah.
yeah, guy old ideas. Old. Everything we do is
The new,
old.
the new guy with old ideas.
Yeah. That's how.
The old
How do
guy
you?
with old
There's no such thing
ideas.
as an old idea. An idea is something that just happened. You know. That's a fun. It's just like I had
Old
an
ideas.
idea, but it was
That's a good
stupid.
album,
You gotta have
man.
a
Old
stupid
ideas.
idea.
Had a few of those.
All mine are brilliant. They're powered by lamp oil.
And get this, he still listens to CDs.
DVDs. He's a Reddit.
CDs.
What are you? What are them? What do they call them? Hipster? What are you, hipster? With your hat and your
Yeah,
DVDs?
yeah.
No, those DVDs
The,
gotta
dre-
be vinyl, Mikey.
the
Vinyl
dreaded
DVDs.
the, the dreaded drink coasters.
Ooh. I use drink coasters. What's wrong with that?
I was in Concord a couple of weeks ago, and they were having like, all these street vendors. They had like this, they're celebrating this whole street vendor thing. And there was one that had, records and CDs, and it was in front of a store. It was an enormous store. I walked into the store. There's all CDs and LPs, just like an old-fashioned record store. Only
Yeah.
they're old. And they had new ones as well, but I'd never seen such a collection for sale
Cool.
before. And
I can
it's up
almost
there
smell
in
it.
Yeah, it had that smell, and I was quite impressed. They're selling all these turntables. They're selling vintage stereo equipment. I guess is really big now and been big for a while.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yes, it is. Go on eBay. They'll break your heart. I clearly remember throwing that into a dumpster. Damn it.
Yeah, vinyls had a resurgence. I don't
Yeah.
think CDs and I don't think 8 tracks are going to have the
Now,
resurgence.
CDs, you could get a tube of 100
Yeah.
on eBay now for like
Yeah.
$20, right? DVDs, they just all most of them work. Some of them scratched up too much to go, but you get a shitload that way. I did once. I got a box of sci-fi and stuff. I burned them all. Then I gave them to a guy at work who still has a DVD player. He was all jazzed.
What's happening now? Fred was collecting back in the day. We all had vinyl. Fred finally got rid of his vinyl, but now his son is buying it back.
Yeah.
He
Friendly.
goes
I
in the
think it's in
record
their
store
blood.
where Fred sold his records, and he's like, he'll buy the record back that
Yeah.
Fred sold.
Yeah. Well, he liked to collect shit anyway. It's in his blood. It's in that family's blood.
does he still have that beer can collection?
No,
Okay.
he sold that way back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
still talks about it though.
you get a big enough collection, you have a sale. You have something that's worth something,
Yep, yep, yep.
My father had a good saying. He says, "Yeah, but you got to find the asshole to fit the seat."
That's right.
And now, I mean, with eBay, with the internet, it's the asshole is in India, but now we can find you. Oh, I wanted that.
Yeah, you're right.
Send
Right.
it overnight.
The other way to phrase that is, it's only worth what someone will pay for it.
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's my father's famous saying. Like this, something's worth whatever you can talk someone into paying for it.
Oh,
Whatever
sounds like
you
your
can
dad.
talk someone into. That's the Foster twist to that saying.
You can talk him into paying for it. He'd go to
Right.
a yard sale or something. He goes, people say, how much? He'd be like $20. I was like, give me $5 and I'll take it off your hands.
I used to do that. I think your
But
dad
you still
told me
have
that.
it at the end of the day.
I'm walking around yard sales. I go, I give you $1. That's all I just kept saying. I give you $1. I give you $1. Right? I got like a grinder. I got the guy was kind of getting pissed because I kept saying I bought 20 things. I gave him $20. I had 20 things. I said, I give you $1. I give you $1. Right? And he was getting really mad.
They see you coming. They see you coming. They say, "Oh, here's a dollar guy."
Yeah, I'm the $1. No, he never saw me again. Actually, I wasn't gonna go back there. He seemed pretty steamed when I left.
There's like a permanent flea market down the road here, and I go in. It's only open on the weekends. I go in once in a while on the weekends, and it's just a cast of characters like you right out of Central Casting, man.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable,
Uh,
including an Elvis impersonator
Oh
has
yeah.
a booth.
Why not?
That's the
Old as
charm
fuck.
of these places.
Old
Yeah.
as fuck.
Well, it's better just
I used
staying
to
at
do
home and doing it. So I'm gonna go out and show everybody my
spent
costume.
most of my childhood like that. Just in those flea markets, man. They're all characters, even me.
Characters,
And,
oh yeah.
Was he selling
Ah.
anything?
back
They
then,
sell. Yeah.
Elvis?
Oh, Elvis had music, like really shitty music instruments and stuff.
Well, all right. Well, there's like
Yeah.
get people moving it. You
Very,
gotta do something, right?
Yeah.
Tinfoil
Yeah,
hat.
gotta fit
stupid.
the persona.
Stupid little ukuleles and shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then there's the cutie in the back who really knows how to display her stuff, right? She's got vintage clothes,
Oh,
vintage
Really
Yeah.
knows how to display her stuff.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
She's a good looking girl,
I know.
and but she knows how to display her stuff.
Competition. I gotta put on an Elvis hat. I gotta do something. You gotta get him to look over here. Look over here.
Yep, that's right. Age old, man.
Oh, there's so many characters in there. I love going in there.
Yeah,
Everybody's
it
looking
was,
for a deal.
they closed a great one on Route One up in Scarborough. They had an indoor flea market. It was enormous, and we used to go up there every year. And they'd have, there was like several dozen dealers that kept their stuff there. And the guy that worked the register, he had one of those devices you put up to your neck, and you'd speak through that.
I got one. I got one on me.
They smoke 5 packs a day. He still smokes through there.
Oh, they do that. I know that's fucked up, right? That is fucked up. But why quit down?
You got a light. You got a light.
Yeah,
Well,
I know a lady,
I like
an old
flea
lady.
market.
She smokes cools,
There needs to be more.
and she has that
Yeah.
voice.
I love them. I grew up with them, like just being around them and selling stuff, and like, every weekend the same cast of characters, and I kind of miss that, we really don't have that anymore as much as,
Yep.
because everything is
Yeah.
so cheap and so plentiful, and everybody's house is so full of shit. Nobody wants to put more shit in their house anymore.
Nope.
Isn't there a good one like in Woodstock or something?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought like
Maybe.
Woodstock, Connecticut had a good one or something, or they used to.
Maybe they do with the
Giant
old
flea market.
fairgrounds or something. But
Yeah.
I was up there one weekend. I didn't see any signs for it. I rode by the fairground. And I couldn't.
Did you
That
guys
would
go
be
on
the
eBay?
logical place for it, because they had. Remember the one at Rocky Hill State Fairgrounds? They had one. We used to go to that quite a bit. But yeah, that would be the logical place.
There was that one right on Route 6, right near your house.
Yeah.
Across the other side.
Yeah, that's where they made their
Yeah.
living, Mikey.
Yeah, that
That's
place.
where the
I
Morgans
love that
made their
place.
money.
I love that place.
Right.
Yeah.
We used to pick it out of the garbage in one town and bring it to Foster
That's
and
right.
sell it to
Drag it
them.
home. I get somebody to buy this. Your dad
You
had this
need
other
this.
thing about sales. He said the guarantee, like it's guaranteed to work. And then you just say when they want their money back, you did it wrong. That's what he said. That's all you have to do.
But you must have broke it on the
Ah,
way
you did it
home or
wrong.
something.
You didn't follow the instructions. The magic potion. Yeah, he was making potions or some fucking thing. It was like this thing that dumb people would buy.
Hey, it worked when I had it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you didn't follow the instructions.
Works when I do it, right?
One day it worked.
I had an actual thing like that. When
40
I did
years
invisible
ago.
fences, there was a tape to teach the owner how to train the dog to behave around an invisible fence. You can't just let them outside because they'll run up into it, get shocked, not understand what the fuck happened, and then they'll just cower on the porch till the end of time. They'll never even go out in the yard again, right? So when they call, that was part of I'd do it. I train a dog, right? But I had it down for I'll do it for $900. That's what I had. Like if you're gonna make me do it with your dog, I'll take $900, right? Because I didn't want to do it. So that was just. But I put it in the fence and then said, "Here's a cassette." It's very easy. It wasn't that hard. But I had a customer call me and tell me about the dog cowering on the porch, and I said, "Did you use the tape?" And then she said, "No." And I said, "Well, you used it wrong." So I thought of your dad. I go, but this is real. It was a real. You didn't do what I told you kind of situation. You did it wrong. So no refunds. Click.
So how did they do it? How do they train the dog to do that?
You put white flags all around the border where they are, right?
Okay, so you gotta
You
give
take
them,
them
give
up
them a
with
visual.
it off, and you play with them. You go, no. It's like this certain thing you did with them all around. You show them the whole perimeter.
Successive
And-
approximations added, with stimulus pairing.
Yeah, give them a
And then
visual.
then they know. I saw a dog go through one once. It was so excited about chasing a cat. It went through it, and then it just did a little yelp. Yelp. like that. But he blasted through the thing. He was on the other side of the thing now, and he just kept going. Yeah, they're pretty cruel.
Yeah,
Those things.
that would do it.
You don't have to bury them no more. They send out a signal, so when the dog gets out of range of the base unit, it starts shocking them.
Right.
Yeah, so, and then there's no more buried wire, so there's no more business. You know.
That would make sense. Yeah. Uh, oh my gosh.
Burying wire. That was speaking of marketing. If there like, I could do one in the morning. The unit cost me $100, and I was charging and getting like 700 or 800. So I could get $700 for like 4 hours in a yard, right? If I could get 2 of those a day, I'd have been fucking golden. I'd have owned a house. But I couldn't get. Marketing was everything. I was spending all my money, all my time, all my effort into getting the next customer, right? And like now it'd been easy, but then it was like, you know, get an ad in a journal for like, I don't know what the fuck they were. They were a lot, you know. It was like for a week, it was like, I don't know, $200 or something, you know, for a little ad in the journal. Well, it was so fun. I did Frank Coletta with his mug. Again, we gave him a mug, right? And the fucking guy used it. It finally happened. I wasn't even done doing it, and he did it like in February. Invisible Fence one, you know, like yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Not that one particular, but yeah, he used to have the mugs that people would send him. Yeah.
Well, that was a marketing face plant. I had a lot of those. We had we got a little square on a mat like in cellos. You know, they say there's an ad all over your placemat where you put your dish. There's like little ads on it, and we had one there. That didn't work.
Poop deck.
Kind of yucky. Was that like a
Look how big and monstrous these things are.
they want in.
Wow.
They want to just conveniently lay their eggs right in your kitchen. And maybe one of them can jump in your oven for you.
Those
Kitchen's bad
roosters.
place. Get away from the kitchen. You don't want to be anywhere near that.
Hey, is your rooster crowing yet?
No, I'm still on. It's still to be determined.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
know. Let's hope that it's not.
Yeah, I hope it's not. Cecilia
Oh,
will be a Cecil.
And Cecil will be Tandoori Leghorn on the Barbie. Maybe.
Yeah, when they challenge each other, sometimes she goes after them like this, you know. So she does
So
some
the
she
next,
does some rooster characteristics, you know. But
do the neck
they
feathers
just
come up?
a little bit, but they come up on all of them when they charge each other and stuff, you know. It's a riot to watch them chase each other.
Uh,
But
Dave,
but
get some chickens. Get some chickens for the apartment complex.
I got geese. I can watch geese, and then they fly away, and I'm not responsible for them anymore.
there you go.
Geese are funny.
Smart man.
We had
Smart man.
Stanley Bostich. They were all over the place. We fed them. Well, they did. So
Yeah.
we gave them the cooks used to leave food at the guard shack for the fucking geese, right down on Route 1. If you ever wondered why there was geese all over Route 1 down by Stanley Bostich, that's why, because we fed them. So we used to we had like geese football. Like we had this pizza, right? It was like one of them single ones, you know, looked like a little plate, right? But they were all stale and hard. And threw one of them out there. One goose gets it, right? And he's like just trying to fucking hang on to it, and he's like running away, and all the other geese are coming at him, right? He's going, oh shit, right? And then like he wins, he gets away from them, right? They get distracted, they just start walking off somewhere else, like, and then he stops. And why am I alone, right? Like, and then he turns around with the pizza in his mouth. He starts waddling back to him, right? Then all the other ones go, oh yeah, then they do it again, right? Then another one wins. He gets the pizza and he goes off somewhere with the fucking thing. They never did eat it, but it was
It's all
hysterical.
right.
Oh, it was so fucking funny, man.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geese, yeah, get something heavy and give it to him.
Chickens,
So,
chickens are the same way. One finds something,
Yeah,
and the other ones have to have it.
yeah.
Uh,
It's my
and so it,
mouse.
it must it must be better than what I have.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
all
yeah.
charge the one that has it. And they're running with it, and then another one will get it, and she'll run the other way.
Ooh,
It's
I
pretty
have a I
funny.
have a
Yeah.
great one on turkeys, right? I got called once. Somebody called from the office. Some lady at by her window. She looked out and she saw two turkeys on either side of the fence, right? And she said, let them out or let the other one in. So I had to let one out of the property, right? So to go over there. So they want to be together. That's what she said. Just, all right, whatever. I'll go over there and deal with these turkeys, right? I go over there. There's one turkey, and then the other turkey on the other side of the fence has got his head in his mouth, and he's trying to pull him in, right?
Holy shit!
And then he gets loose, right? And then he pecks the living fuck out of his head as he's pulling it out, right? And the other one comes out, and he's like, fuck, right? He's doing like circles, right?
wow.
And the other one's standing there, right? And then he got like distracted, so they don't see each other for a minute. They're like not aware of each other again, like right away, like. And then they see each other, and boom, they started doing it again. So I just I
Yeah,
shooed the other one
they're
away,
weird.
and but she thought
Birds
they
are
were like
weird.
trying to like get together and I don't know make little turkeys.
So I was telling George, I found this. We had this robin nest right outside the house, and we've been watching them. It takes about 2 weeks for them to grow and fly off. And a couple of days ago, they were making a lot of noise. And I'm thinking, oh, today's the day they're gonna fly, right? It was a rainy day though, so I'm like, and sure enough, I found one on the ground below the nest. It was almost dead from hypothermia, right? So I pick it up. The thing's alive, but barely. So I got a heat lamp. So I'm holding it under the heat lamp. And I look, and all of a sudden I look down, and all these things are crawling up my arm.
Oh,
Right? It was covered with bird mites, right? Yeah. So I put it in a box and then put it back up in its nest, and I think I don't know if it survived or not, but I did see it out. It was out in the yard, and the mother was coming down to feed it like the next day. If it was the same one. But then I read, that wild mites can transfer to chickens. So then I'm like, oh fuck, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So that's
suppose.
a good reason to
Uh,
get chickens. Chicken
Yeah.
mites.
yeah.
They don't infest humans. They'll bite you, from what I read, but they can't live off you. They can't complete their life cycle on
Yeah.
you. So it's like if you bring them in the house on you, they'll just die off.
Yeah, because you
They're
ain't
not
got no
gonna.
feathers.
I ain't got the stuff.
You ain't got no feathers.
They ain't got the stuff they need. Look at that. Whoop, dog.
Go, go. Go, gadget chicken legs.
That's quite a
Yeah, I'm
flock there.
inundated.
I up the hill, the
Yeah,
lady's got chickens. I kind of got chickens. I got chickens in vicinity of me. And she's really good at keeping it clean. I never smell them.
Yeah.
There was one by my sliding door. That's how I met her. That's how I found out about him. There was a chicken looking in, and then she came by a little while later and says, "You see a chicken?" I go, "Yeah, I did." He went that away, and then we talked for a little bit. And it's right up the hill from me, right? Like there's a sliding door and there's a hill. The house on the top,
How
is,
many
it's perfect.
how many does she have?
I don't know. Um, but she told me it's actually she had like a relative in Foster who recommended it.
Mhm.
I said you should have chickens, and he says, "Oh, I know somebody in Foster who recommends that all the time too."
Yeah, I know. Well, it's kind of like it's a form of toxic plasmosis. You're around chicken. I suppose you get it through chicken excrement. You end up with a fondness for chickens.
I would have
So
liked
what?
to have done it when I had the house. I never thought to do it. Like now that I've seen you with them, I would have definitely. Yeah, if I still had a house, I'd do it like tomorrow. But
We always had them growing up, It was always chickens.
Maybe I get some when I'm in Italy. I can get chickens, because that's something you can just do in your yard. I mean, it's just something you can just do. You
Yeah.
can't renovate an old
I know.
building, but you can have chickens.
It's the easiest livestock to keep. Absolutely.
Grow food.
That's right.
It's all perfectly understandable there. Why wouldn't you do that?
What's that old joke about the wife thinks she's a chicken or something? And then did you bring
Yeah.
it to the doctor?
Maybe it's
No.
not a joke.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a porn movie. I think it's a.
No, I didn't,
Yeah.
because we could use the eggs. That's the
That's right.
punchline.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
Ooh,
it
look
when
at
my
them
wife clucks around the apartment like a chicken. Makes me hot.
look at them raspberries. Ooh,
I
look at
can't
them.
resist.
Keep them away.
When you
Keep them
talk
away
chicken
from
to
the
me,
chickens.
baby,
Well,
I
all the
get
lower
all
ones and
icky
pecking
inside.
height are gone. But
What are those, your tomatoes, George?
raspberries,
Oh, raspberries. Oh, yeah, that shit.
big fat ones this year.
Big fat ones.
Been a good year for raspberries.
Cool.
Gotta put a
Mike,
little fence on them.
I want to see how your figs turn out.
Yeah, they're there's one tree that's full of little baby figs right now.
Yeah, fresh figs are great. They are fucking
Uh,
great.
yeah.
That's cool.
They
That's
are.
is that like a fig that can grow up there?
Yeah, they're hardy, but they go in the basement in the winter, and then in the spring, you trim them back hard, and then all the new growth is what grows the figs. So you trim them back hard,
Do you have to put them in the
and
basement?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have my son bring them down there,
But why? They
and
can't be like where they is.
uh, yeah. Well, they might survive outside, but
No,
they'd
I
spend
mean like
so
as
much
a house
energy.
plant, like by a window or something. Like,
Oh, yeah. They got to go into dormancy,
all
right?
right.
They need dormancy, and then you could bring them in and grow them, but you ever had to do that? Figs smell like cat piss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Fun
I mean,
fact.
before I knew that, I had some figs in the house, and then like, it's like, where'd the fucking cat pee? And then I started looking it up, and I'm like, figs have this cat piss odor.
Wow.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
kidding. I didn't know that.
yeah. You don't smell it when they're outside, but like when they're in a room, you smell it.
Well, like when you're eating them.
Yeah, I mean, not,
Hey, this fruit
it's mostly
smells like pee.
it's mostly some kind of gas they emit when they're in a room, and the room
Yeah, yeah.
holds the smell. Yeah, but you swear it was cat piss.
That sucks.
You
Okay,
swear. Yeah.
so forget that.
But fresh figs, some years they grow a lot of figs, but they don't ripen in time. Other years they grow and they ripen, they get fat and juicy, and they're great.
I know a
But
guy in Italy who has them, right? But it's in the right climate, and
yeah.
and the only figs I ever had was those dried up ones you buy in a supermarket or something, and I never cared
Yep.
for them. Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
I had one.
They're
I
right.
had one. I said, okay. I tried it. Fell an instant. It was like a religious experience. Those fucking things, like right off a tree.
It is. I tried to tell
Oh,
Mike that. Mike's like, oh, but it's not like a
yeah, I know.
strawberry.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not a strawberry. It's a
No,
fig. It's
it's
a
an
it's
entirely
a
different thing.
refined taste. You have to actually have a refined palate to appreciate.
Yeah,
Oh no.
all your bland food up there.
No, but yeah, he's enamored of strawberries. I
Yep,
don't blame him. But strawberries are good, but yeah,
hard to
figs.
argue.
Yeah, well, you get figs. Figs are great, and there's so many good things like like a tree ripened peach in the sunshine. And it's got it's warmed by the sun. It just explodes in your mouth when you eat it. That's a good thing too. It's all kinds of good things. Strawberries are one of them. So are figs. But
We lost Mikey.
yeah, I mean, we just have great things. There's just so many great things to eat.
Yeah, I fucking love figs. Yep.
Back.
My computer thought it was Kennedy, like fucking doing something from afar.
Yeah, I swear the guy's like a what they call a lullite. He's a lullite. He gets near something electronic and it fucking breaks.
You
Luddite.
mentioned his name.
Luddite. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Luddite. Mike's a
You mentioned
Luddite.
his name, and yeah. But yeah, fresh figs are the bomb, man.
Yeah, they are wonderful.
And that
Uh,
was late in my life. I mean, I was in my 30s when I finally had a fig, a
Mhm.
fresh one. And then I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
whoa, this is good. Another thing that was a surprise was sugarcane when I was in the Philippines. It's just a
Yeah.
stick, just freshly cut,
Mhm.
and you bite it, and you know, it's like, it's great. And then it does, just before you swallow it, turns to wood. And then you
It's
spit it
woody.
out.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
well, these are things that aren't really native to this area up
No.
here in the Northeast. So
Yeah.
sugarcane and figs and stuff. So if we have them at all, it's usually late in life, you know.
Oh yeah,
So
I bought a stick of sugarcane here. It was in BJ's. I went, oh, sugarcane. I took it. It was a fucking stick. It was usually it was like a stick. It
yeah,
was no good.
it's
So I had
not
this
the
stick
same thing.
that used to be sugarcane. Not the same.
Not the same.
Yeah, they're hybridizing figs to live to become more cold hardy, but
Yeah,
and it's working, but it's but like
not the
you got to
same.
bring them in. Yeah, you got to bring them in the winter and stuff. I mean, they will survive. There's a variety called Chicago Hardy that I have, and they'll survive outside. In fact, I tried planting one. I want to see if it survives, but it'll spend all its energy just in surviving, and you won't get much fruit or if any, you know. So
There's
Mm.
Chicago, huh? Well, if you can make it there,
Chicago
you can make
Hardy.
it anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
That's no
Yeah,
shit. You know, I was
yeah.
there in the winter, and
Were you there the night? Were you there the night it died?
it already died. It was quite dead. Um, That was kind of cool, but it was so cold that well, you couldn't leave your skin exposed for like hardly any time, and if you
Yep.
spit, it was kind of cool. On the way down, it would freeze. It actually crackled. So that was like you freeze things instantly.
All those
But take the
all those cities on the Great Lakes, man. Buffalo,
whoa,
Chicago,
yeah, I know. Like, why live there? And
that's
how can you be
brutal.
homeless there? What the fuck?
Oh,
Stop walking south, man.
yeah, I agree.
Those are the truly insane people.
Yep.
Fuck. Don't know how they
We
do
were
it.
talking about the Southwest. I know in Southern California, out west in the desert, like the Mojave and places like that, there are a lot of these huge semi-homeless nomadic encampments
Yeah, the smart
that
homeless, the ones that did walk south.
yeah, and people live out there, and a lot of them, they take care of each other. They see to each other's
Mhm.
needs and whatnot, and help each other get services and whatever they need.
Well, they're not really homeless then.
But
Well, they're all living
the
in
majority,
they're all living in various degrees of vehicles and things, different
right,
types of
or
vehicles and
lack
stuff.
of,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and they're kind of what they intentional or non-intentional cities that have developed over the years in the middle of New Mexico and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Wait, you gotta go where nobody's gonna care that you're there. You know, because
right,
all you
right.
do is like they'll just chase you around. It's like get out of here. It's like you can't stop. It's like against the law to stop. Stop somewhere. I'm just gonna rest here. No. What are you doing? I'm moving.
well, I
You
mean,
gotta move.
there's there's always been that in this country. I remember like watching this series about John Adams, and he had this big farm, I think out in, I think Cambridge or some Massachusetts and stuff like this, and they showed just him working. A lot of the big farms out here in New England, they had like traveling, farm workers who would live in basically like tents,
Hmm.
and there'd be dozens of them living on the big farms and whatnot, and they'd be working the farms, and they're transient. They go from town to town, outside of any city, there are always a transient population of homeless, semi-homeless, transient workers and whatnot. This has always been around here. The swamp Yankees were transient homeless people because most of the land was owned by not even local owners, by owners in Europe, like in England and whatnot, landed gentry who owned the land, but they call them swamp Yankees because they took up residence in the swamp, the part that isn't overseen very
Yeah,
well.
nobody cares about
And
here.
yeah, so no one's gonna fuck with us here, I guess.
Yeah,
So we'll
in the
just set
swamp.
up home here. So there's always been that. I mean, everywhere.
Oh yeah.
There's always been Hootervilles and and if the locals get sick of them enough, they'll just send in the militia and push them all out, and they'll go live somewhere else for a while. But that's always been like that. I think throughout history, virtually everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at the Tinkers and the Gypsies in England and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. Uh, so it's like a problem everywhere.
Well,
Everywhere
they
there's
make a
people.
show, right? Like at least they'd have a reason. Hey, we're gonna, you know, make a stage and dance around, play music or something.
Yeah, whatever, any way to make them make money. Uh, we'll uh, we'll paint your house with we'll buy a bunch of cans of paint and water it down. We'll paint your house really quick, and then we're out of town before you figure out it's a shit paint job and stuff. And
Yeah.
uh, whatever is needed, whatever needs to be fixed, whatever needs to be harvested, whatever needs to be put on shows for people, tell fortunes, whatever, play music, get some money.
Did you ever see that movie, King of the Gypsies?
No.
Oh man,
Not,
that's like one of the greatest movies. It's got Judd Hirsch is like the king. It's a modern day gypsy movie, right? And Judd Hirsch is like the bad guy. He's like technically going to inherit the leadership, but he's a bad dude, and it actually the leadership jumps him to his son, right? And it just portrays the plight of the gypsies in modern day, right? And sort of modern day. Dave Grisman does the soundtrack. It's a
oh, no
phenomenal movie.
kidding.
If you haven't seen King of the Gypsies, you got to see it.
So
It's
we're
a great movie.
talking about what, 70-ish kind of 70s
Yeah,
movie?
yeah,
Like,
it's very 70s. Yeah, it's very 70s. King of the
well,
Gypsies.
there,
There's one scene where they go into this jewelry store and they're looking at jewelry and they cause this huge commotion because this is part of what how they make money, right? Cause this huge commotion, and during the commotion, one of the kids eats the diamond ring, right? And so the jeweler's like, where was it? Where is it? I know you had it, and you're accusing us of stealing, and they,
Yeah.
leave. And then the next scene is the kid taking a shit in something, and they were like washing the
Hey, Mikey, you're not
shit out of
selling
the
it.
got
I wrote it
it.
down, and now maybe I'll skip it.
yeah,
So,
it,
where they like, when they do this, like,
the,
Yeah.
we have the luxury to say, well, that's gross and stuff, but that's survival for people.
yeah,
It's like, well,
yeah,
It's a great fucking movie though. It's a
and
great
everybody
movie.
knows it.
traditional gypsies are Romani. They're actually almost originally they come from India, and but they've kind of like transmorgified in a lot of ways to like tinkers and travelers. They have travelers in this country too. They're kind of like mostly Irish based, and they travel the country in big caravans, and they hit a town and they do like odd jobs,
That's what
like
these. That's what this group was. I think it was in New York City. I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
and
if I
and
remember right.
they're like grifters, like in a lot of ways, and they're very extravagant lifestyles, and because
Yeah, they have this whole structure to their existence, and they have all these ways of making money, and
And they bring you wonders of the
eating,
world,
shitting jewelry and everything. It's great.
shitting jewelry.
getting jewelry, yes, painting houses with watered down paint, paving driveways with watered down pavement and stuff. And by the time you figure out that you've been had, they're out of town and
They're
hitting up
gone.
the
Yeah.
next group of dupes, you know.
Yeah. Remember that
And
hard drive you bought, George? Remember that
yeah,
hard drive you bought? It was like some show, internet show or computer
yeah,
show.
oh
Like
yeah, yep,
yeah, in
yep,
Lincoln. Oh, no, it was Warwick. We went to CCRI, and
yep.
like we couldn't return it because the next day it's just a bunch of empty tables and trash on the floor.
That's right.
They've all cleared
They're
out. That thing was a
hit the
piece of
road.
shit. I got it took a year to figure it out. It had a nasty virus on the master boot record, but there was no returning it. They said, "You got to return this. This is shit." And then you told me where you bought it. You bought it from the Gypsies.
Yeah, I when I was 13, I worked at this general store and gas station, and they were telling me just before I was hired that this group of gypsies, they came, they invaded the gas station. You know, they kept filling up their tanks and moving the cars so fast you couldn't tell which one had paid and which one didn't. And
Oh
they
fuck!
all the kids were in the store everywhere. Like there was like 100 kids in the store, all grabbing at stuff and
Call the
filling
police.
their pockets. And yeah,
Yeah.
by the time the police came, it was like everybody was gone up the road, and it was like they were hit hard, and gone.
That's one technique they use to create mass confusion, whether it's in
Yeah,
in a convenience store and a jewelry store. They just create this mass confusion, and then they
yeah,
take what they can, and they're gone.
Yeah, and
yeah.
they wonder why they don't like us.
All right.
Well,
Hey, did you guys see that walk-off home run last night?
Hmm. Nope.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The Red Sox pitcher was hurt himself in like the first or second inning, so they had to go to the bullpen the whole game. Bullpen wasn't ready. They got up to it was 4-3. The Rays were ahead in the ninth inning, the bottom of the ninth, and Cedar Rafaela gets up there, and well, first somebody walks, so they get a guy on base, and Cedar Rafaela gets up there and knocks one right into Lansdowne Street, man. 30 fucking 5,000 people, or how many people were in that fucking park, was just fucking. I mean, the volume of that place,
Yeah,
something I've never experienced. But
that's
ninth inning, ninth inning home run walk
in
off,
the
man.
ninth inning, you've given up. A lot of
Yeah.
times if the game's off, I'm asleep. Okay.
The only grasp of hope was that the new guy Anthony took a walk and was on first base, so that was your tie and run. And then Cedar Rafaela, who's been hot, he's been hitting home runs in every fucking game. Knocked one out of the park, man. It was just unbelievable.
And the crowd goes wild.
You got to look it up on YouTube. It was.
Yeah, I'll
They
check
show
it
this
out.
picture of this guy. They show this picture of this guy in the seats going like this before he hit the ball, right? And that old Babe Ruth thing, and
yep.
So, Mikey,
and
you
then he
sit
hit
through a
the
whole
ball.
game.
I do, yeah. I
I,
sit
I
through every game,
I'll watch.
every fucking game.
I'll do that like in a playoffs, but
Yeah.
the internet now YouTube just summarizes a whole game. You can watch the whole thing. Like all the stuff
Yeah.
you've been all condensed into a nice little bang bang bang. Okay, I've watched the game, and then you can go on your way.
Yeah, if I miss one, I'll do that. Yeah,
Watch basketball
but
like that
just
too. I've been watching
the thing is though,
football like
there's
that.
there's the whole game behind the game.
Yeah,
It's
I know, man. I've done it.
it goes really deep.
But I got a big book list. I'm a very busy man,
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
but I like to stay in touch. I'll watch that. I haven't been watching any of it lately.
But yeah, check that out on YouTube. Look up Sedan Rafaela's walk-off home run from last night. It's fucking unbelievable, man.
I get weary with the amount of games. I'm like that with basketball too.
There's a
There's
lot of
just too
games.
fucking
Yeah,
many of them. Um,
there's a lot of them.
I was following basketball into the playoffs, but I didn't watch every game, and it did. Yeah, maybe they're 5 minutes long, and I still couldn't go through. I said, okay, that's enough. That's enough basketball.
Mike's right. There are some games that are boring as fuck. But there's some games that are fucking
Depends.
really fucking exciting. You know?
The Sox and the Yankees in the playoffs. Holy fuck! Yeah,
Yeah,
they won the
yeah,
World Series.
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
every pitch, everything's a fuck. It's nerve wracking. Oh wow, it's
Yeah.
an hour
Oh
already.
yeah. Yeah. Under a minute,
We got a minute, you guys.
Take care,
gentlemen,
folks.
Yeah, I went
Enjoy
like
the
that.
day.
Where Mike is.
and you two guys.
I don't
I'm
know.
not.
Maybe
I
he's
think,
prepping for
Yeah,
playing
he got
out
that
today or
job. He
something.
said
oh,
he's gonna be busy now.
Take
Oh
care,
yeah,
folks. It's good. Thank you.
you're welcome, man. That was a great book. It's all about Rhode Island.
what's it
In
called?
the 70s, though, right? It's
Spartina.
mostly it's the 70s, though.
The end of like early '80s, 79, 80.
What's
It's
it
the
called?
time I was
What's
fishing
it
there.
called? What is it?
Spatina.
Sativa,
It's seagrass.
Platina.
That's the name anyway.
Martina.
It takes place in Matuna, Point Judith, and Wickford, and
Nice.
a lobster fisherman. And that's all.